This video goes over the plank. First thing, get on your forearms and your toes on the ground. Next thing I'm going to do, squeeze my abs and butt. So watch me do that. So, squeeze your abs and butt. I'm going to pause it. Right now you can kind of tell that my glutes are being clenched, which is good. That's what I want. Squeeze that booty, and if you look at my lower back, from squeezing my abs and butt, I take that dip out of my lower back. So now I want to rewind it back to the beginning. See, I kind of have that dip in my back. So a common cue for the plank is, hey, keep your body in a straight line, which is true, but my core isn't engaged even though it's in a straight line. So right now I'm pretty much just resting on the structure of my spine and my pelvis, right? So it's just the spine's just kind of cramming into the pelvis, keeping a straight line in my body, but it's not because my core is engaged. So now, and I'll put this in slow motion, and I readjust at the same time, so it makes it a little harder to see, but I squeeze my abs and butt right there. So I'm trying to get rid of that little dip in my lower back. So next thing you do after that, push into your forearms and push back. So there's an example again of me losing that tension. Keep your abs and butt tight. So while you're doing the plank, this makes it harder and creates more tension. What I'd like to see is that you push back against your forearms, and I'm trying to drive my heels back too. So I'm on my toes, but I'm driving it all back. So I'm acting as if something is sucking me in this direction. So abs and butt tight, and pull everything back. You can also do this with your arms straight. So this is just a straight arm plank. And in gymnastics, this is what they practice. So I'm kind of doing like a global flexion of my body here, right? So this is all happening because my core is super tight. As you can see, I went onto my toes here and rocked forward. So if you want to make the straight arm plank harder, you can practice it like a gymnast, like I am in this case. So I'm really pushing in with my arms and my shoulder blades. So I'm almost kind of creating like a rounded back. And that's because my core is super tight and I'm really pushing down into the ground. And most of all, more importantly than anything, my abs and butt are super tight. So straight arm plank, usually it's a little bit easier than the standard plank. If the standard plank is too hard, you can go to your knees, just like I am in this case. Same rules though, keep your abs and butt super tight. Push into those forearms a little bit, but first thing is always got to be abs and butt tight. If you're losing that tension in your core, that's when it's a good idea to scale down to a knee plank or a straight arm plank if you need to. So that's a common error, butt in the air. You don't want that. Okay, so that's butt down. Pretty much I'm just laying in a stretch. This is how I played video games when I was a child. Like, this is not a core exercise. This is you just laying on your stomach. So make sure you have a straight line between your shoulders and your knees, right? So as you can see, I have a dip here. That's really not a straight line. Back to that abs and butt tight again. That's the most important part. There you go. That's plank.